I really believe that it took a village. Yeah, it might have been my vision when I came in there. But, I also had accompanists, and later on I had students who would come back and help. And, one of my students, Tiffany, became the next director, or, Tiffany Fernandez
Okay.
became the director at Ayala
So
after I
she's a
left.
choir teacher now.
Yeah, she's a choir teacher, but she was
At,
my assistant.
at Ayala?
She was at Ayala
Okay.
for 4 years. Yeah.
Wow.
But she was also my assistant, and then at
That's
one point
beautiful.
before I left, we had like 230 kids in the program. I think we
Wow.
had one of the highest choral music budgets in the whole state of California. It's not the highest.
No,
And
you know what? Ayala Choir we had some recognition. Like there is
internationally too,
yeah,
right?
no, we're
So,
award winning, might I say, might I add.
but
I think I looked up Ayala on Wikipedia, and even Wikipedia like had a nod to like also Ayala Choir. Something about one of the competitions you guys won. Not when I was there, but like later on in those years, it was on Wikipedia. So, oh, that's like the common
yeah,
knowledge.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So, but it really took like a village.
yeah,
It took our accompanists. It took like we had assistants, we had accompanists. By the time I left, I think I had when I left, I had three or four accompanists. So it was a really big program. It started, when I got there was 90 kids in the program,
yeah.
and there was no touring, and we would tour. And I remember your dad was trying to help us get
Trying to go
to
Thailand.
Thailand,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and unfortunately that didn't work out. But
yeah. Yeah. My that's my dad never showed interest in like being part of like PTAs or after school things, but then like
sure,
the moment like he's like maybe we go to Thailand. It's like that was like his kind of like moment to shine. Like I want to take the kids to Thailand. Like, oh yeah, that's great, Dad. It would have been a fun experience. But international travel. But I know you guys did international travel. Maybe
we ended up going to just to Peru.
oh Peru, oh Peru.
Yeah, we went to an
Wow,
international choral
that's
festival in
awesome.
Peru, and it was put on by the Chinese Peruvian Association. So they put on this whole festival,
That's
and we
great.
were the only American choir. We were the only young choir. We were the only high
Yeah.
school. Everybody
Wow.
was semi-professional, professional from Latin America and Europe. But it was
Wow.
so much fun. We had a great time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've continued. I've seen a few after I graduated. I came back a few times to watch a few concerts and a few magical feasts. And yeah, each kid that you brought in were always talented. And I've noticed like I don't know if it's a school, but because I've been to a lot of choirs and seen lots of kids, and like maybe not every kid is on pitch or perfect, but when I watched your students further on, like it was like great harmonies, great melodies, like everything was like just syncing up. So
But you know what, Qatar, to be honest with you, we didn't have a lot of kids to be quite frank, we didn't have a lot of kids who had music lessons or anything.
yeah, I
And
did. I was one of them.
they didn't have most of them at Ayala in the choir program weren't these knockout singers.
Yeah,
Okay, and actually I always said that it was better like that because I got to train them and I got to get them to have a unified sound.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so that was the thing was that you know I was really proud of the Ayala kids because the kids that we would go up against like for the state championship that we did win, there's a lot of these kids that are study privately
yeah,
voice, they study voice privately. um, Most of those schools that we went up against were schools that had kids that most of the kids were in some kind of music training.
yeah,
And we didn't have that, believe it or not, even in Chino Hills.
yeah,
And so my whole thing was that I loved the fact that I could say, most of these kids don't have that training.
yeah,
But it's what we do together. It was the synchronicity.
yeah,
It was the synergy, if you will,
mhm,
that happened. Not it wasn't just me.
mhm,
It was what happened in the room, in the choir room. It was what happened, with me as a teacher, but also the companies, the students, even the parents that would come around to assist with the boosters and
Mhm.
supporting us.
Yeah.
There was just the support system, the overall program, and but I, but like I said, I really believe that I might come in with a vision, but I love the fact that people would get behind me, and I don't even want to say behind me because it wasn't about that. And you saw the way that I worked with my accompanist,
Yeah.
and we had such great relationship, and
Mhm.
they were amazing at what they did. So it was this whole system,
Yeah.
that really supported that.
Like I feel like everybody like we saw that vision and we wanted to embody that. I remember there were times where like we're like, oh, we couldn't get harmonies right, or like we had to practice more. We stayed out there, but we all stayed later nights. We did extra practices, and like we like it was important for all of us to do. And yeah, it's just a high school concert, or it's a magical. It's just like these things that we're doing in high school. But when you're that young and like when you want to express your talents and show your parents and support your teacher who's working so hard to put this all together. Like you don't want them down. It's funny how you kind of went from going from like a high school troubled high school dangerous mind scenario into like Mighty Ducks, where like a
Yeah,
ragtag team
yeah.
of kids into like
Or the Bad News Bears.
yeah, yeah, Bad News Bears. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Another the first time it was done. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, you're much friendlier than Walter Matthau, so I'll give you that. I still talk to people in choir. I actually I wanted to bring Jason on today, but I thought what I want to do a one-on-one with you, and because he's been wanting to catch up with you too, but we've just been busy. He works at
Yeah.
Kaiser and like he's dealing with all the other COVID stuff. But what's going on now? Where has life taken you from being my high school teacher to life now?
So I stopped teaching in December, and
Recently.
yeah, last December,
Wow.
and so almost a year. And now I do, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll go back into not teaching, but administration because I have my admin credential and my master's in admin. And but there was something that I've been doing for over 20 years that it started like I started getting a lot of people requesting for me to do more of it. And so I'm actually a Reiki master. I don't know
Okay.
if you know what Reiki is.
I don't. If you like to explain.
So Reiki is a form of energy healing, very ancient form, and it has to do with basically aligning chakras to make.
Okay.
But basically, what chakras are, if you don't know what they are, they're energy centers in the body.
Yeah.
And when they get clogged, right? What happens? They get clogged because okay, so let's say you're a person who doesn't speak his truth. Okay, so when I get over your throat chakra, it's very dark. It's not glowing. Okay, it's not moving the way it needs to move. If you're dealing with the throat chakra, like I said, either you're a person who talks too much and needs to pull it back, or you're a person who doesn't talk enough, who doesn't speak their truth.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there can be a number of reasons why, you have a clogged throat chakra or any other chakra for that matter. But what I tell people, it's like you move into a house and you plug in your vacuum and the outlet doesn't work, right?
Mhm.
So you unplug it and you have to go to a different outlet. Well, that particular outlet that didn't work is there's a blockage there or there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
Same difference. So if you're removing yourself from the light of the creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
we put these veils over us. And basically, we have a disconnect between us and the light. And so, what I go and do is healing work.
Okay.
But I also study Kabbalah. I've
Yeah.
studied Kabbalah for years,
Oh, wow. Okay.
which is,
How long have you been studying spirituality?
well, my whole life, really, to
Oh,
be
okay.
honest with you. Like, for as long as I can remember.
Okay.
I was always talking to God or to the trees or to, when kids
Mhm.
were talking to their friends walking home, I was talking to God, or I was walking home from school. You know,
Mhm.
we lived right by the elementary school, so I'd walk to school and, or I'd talk to a tree or a plant or whatever. So I always felt, I understood, I guess, at that point.
There's a connection
Uh,
to the earth and everything.
sure, sure. Um, excuse me. But I think, for many years, um, it really pushed away my spirituality for a lot of different reasons. For a lot of different reasons. But part of it being that the word healer to me was always so like, I don't know, it was just, I didn't like it.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't deal with that word.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even in Spanish, curandero, had to me had such
Mhm.
negative connotation to it.
Mhm.
Um, so so I really, even though I started studying Reiki in my 20s, um, I would practice, but not very often. And just when people would talk to me or ask me certain things or what have you, then I'd start to work on them. Sometimes I work on myself energetically. Um, but now my practice actually is growing quite a bit. I have um, quite a few clients, and I even have a client that's the chief of staff for a congressperson that comes to see me all the time. And
I don't blame him. Like being working in Congress is pretty stressful right now, so I don't
yeah,
see.
uh, so so yeah, I mean, I love what I do, and I have these one-on-one. I do life coaching also,
Okay.
and
Still,
I
still mentoring, still teaching in some form. Yeah.
yeah, and but it's more one-on-one, and so I do the life coaching and the healing, and it's been a really it's been an interesting transition, um, and I really like what I'm doing. So I don't know if I'll ever go back into education.
Hmm.
Um, who knows? I don't know, and I'm very open to whatever comes my way.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
for right now, this is what I do.
there's some people that live their lives and they're very like they're set. Okay, I'm gonna work at this job my entire life and get a 401k and retire and that's the plan. So, and for me, I mean I've had plans, but like at the end of the day, life falls in a place where it falls. So I get to do the best you can with what you got, and it's really cool how I think it's really cool that you at the same time of being a teacher and then not retiring but leaving it, you're still that sense of mentoring and that sense of you know giving knowledge and things like that have still retained your life in Thai culture. Teachers
Sure,
are held in such high regard because
sure.
they give such the greatest gift is knowledge. For me, I always had a hard time like when I don't like my teacher, he's talking shit about me or like he don't give me bad grades. But you're the one teacher like okay, this is the teacher that is accessible, that I can talk to, and I apologize for whatever issue I was going through. I've somewhat matured since then, but I
You know,
think
you guys trained me. I'm telling you, for what I
yeah.
do, I'm telling you, I have clients that will leave. Like I had three clients yesterday, literally
Uh-huh.
back to back.
Busy day.
And my sessions, they're supposed to be an hour and a half.
Are
You
clients at a
know,
particular age? Are they younger, older, or
you know what? I've had teenagers. I've
oh,
had people who are anywhere from teenagers to in their 80s.
oh wow.
So it's just depending on what they want to do. And most people, when they come to see me, they think it's just energy work.
Yeah.
But the energy work really with me starts with talking. And one of the things that it's funny because I didn't realize that. I mean, on some level, I guess I did, but uh, I have this. I started this YouTube channel, so I have two meditations on there now, right?
Oh awesome.
And they're guided meditations, and certain people would listen to them, and then they call me. They'd say, you not only heal with your hands, but your voice heals.
Yeah.
And so I had like I said, a few people that called me and said, I have to tell you that, your voice is very healing. And so part of the work, like I'm telling you that when we start, when I start with a client, we'll talk about what's going on. Even some students have said, you know, you healed us.
Yeah.
You helped us in so many different ways. And I remember when I first left teaching the
Uh,
first time, I was like, I'm gonna go change the world. I
yeah.
want to change the world. Okay, I've done this. I've taught for at that point it was like 18 years, something like that. I don't know. And I said, but now it's my time to change the world and make some money. Right?
Yeah.
I left and I remember all I did was meditate and I was hiking twice a day. And I was in the hills all the time. And part of it was that I needed healing at that
Hmm.
point. I took 3 years off. And it really was about me healing. I mean, and this stupid nonsense of now I'm going to go change the world. And then people come up to me, my students, former students, to say, Roddy, what are you talking about? You changed the world because you changed us. You helped us.
Hmm.
And I never understood. I thought, oh, okay, kids, whatever. But it wasn't until, you know, former students would come up to me and they'd say, you don't even know how that choir room was a safe place because I didn't want to go home. So I was in every rehearsal. Even if it wasn't my rehearsal, I was in the
I was one of
choir.
those kids. Yeah. I would sneak from. I was a TA in one class, and I would sometimes I ditch. I'm reeling my bad student behavior. I would skip that class, and I would hang out in the choir room. And I think I'd help you with that class because I was like, it's a free period, and he didn't care. And
Yeah,
that's why I got a B in
TA.
yeah. And my friend's like, how do you get a B as a TA? All you do is like do what the
Yeah,
teacher does. Like, I skipped some of those classes to go to the choir room.
yeah.
Uh,
And there were teachers that I actually would talk with, and they go, well, you know what? And I don't know if this was was you or one of the kids, but they'd be like, oh, so and so, you know what? They love your class. They like being there. So you know what? If they come just a couple days a week, that's fine. Because if they were a TA, I'm not saying if they were in this, math class,
yeah,
obviously, but if they were like you, if they were a TA, or if they were in a class that, you guys weren't doing much because those classes existed.
yeah.
That
My paper's gonna pass out.
yeah, that I had these other teachers that would be like, you know what, that kid needs whatever you're giving him or
Yeah.
her. So you know what, I'll work with them. Just make sure that they come and get their homework, or they come get this or whatever. So
Wow.
I actually did work a lot with different teachers, the
Yeah.
ones who would work with me, because there were kids. I have this one kid, and you know who he is, but I won't even mention his
Of
name.
course
But
not.
none of the teachers liked him. No teacher liked him.
Yeah.
And
You only know.
so that was the only place, that was his home.
Yeah.
And it was like, he's still a rabble rouser, but, and I love him still. But the thing is that, he was a pain in the ass. But, at least he had a home.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least he had a home
Yeah.
in the choir room. And that's what I think more than anything is that I'm proud that the choir room, the choir provided a home
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
kids.
I've heard stories of I think the teacher before or other choir experiences, and like you were I never felt you had a favorite. Like I never got the sense that it was a favorite student. I mean, there were students that were you gave responsibilities to, but
Sure.
those weren't like because of favoritism. It was because that kid simply a smart kid or was wanting to be a teacher or whatever. But
Yeah.
there's opportunities you get for everybody. Also, because I was in handbell choir first, and you still have
I
those
had I had
have those
lunch with
handbells.
Kathy, or I had dinner with Kathy a
Oh, Kathy! Oh my God,
couple
Kathy!
weekends
Oh yeah, yeah.
ago. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen her since you guys were in handbells, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I remember I think Carly and Joe. We wanted to do a song for one of the,
Carly,
and then you let us
Carly.
do it, and I was like, oh, okay. And we're just. You could have been like, no, your handbell. You guys don't, even touch the microphone. But you gave us the opportunity to do that, So that was always something I thought was really cool. Have you ever seen the chola from that one school? Like,
She's
it
actually
was a full
my
circle. Did you?
she's actually my friend on Facebook. I mean,
Oh,
I haven't seen her, but
oh,
yeah, she we've talked over Messenger,
okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
no, it's all good. I mean,
Well, she friend you on Facebook.
yeah, we're friends on
That's a
Facebook.
very that's like from going from like fuck you teacher, I'm not doing anything, to being
Yeah,
your friend on Facebook. Yeah, that's see, people can get along. I know things are kind of tough right now, but
you know what? And that's the thing is, you know what, man, if people could just really see, and if everybody could look at each other and see the light, the spark of the creator in that other person, no matter if you like them or you don't like them, but if you go, you know what, I know that that person has part of my soul because we
yeah,
all have one soul.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
If people could do that right now, wow,
yeah,
we
yeah.
would change. We have to change this consciousness of this planet, of our country.
Mhm.
We have to change that consciousness, and that's part of what I'm really excited about the work that I'm doing now. And even when I was with you guys, I think that we I did talk about those things, but maybe not in such a blatant way, if you will.
Mhm.
They were very, it was there about getting along and about
Yeah,
really seeing each other, seeing the value in every person. I think that
yeah,
one of the things, and yeah, we had so many laughs, and you know, I think everybody was laughed at. And that was the thing is that, it wasn't just one person. We all got laughed at one point, and me too,
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
and
enough to go around. Yeah,
yeah, but we all
um,
loved each other,
yeah, yeah. Well, you left a lasting impression. You did plant seed for a lot of people. I to this day I still run into people that were one of your students after me. I think I did a show with Fernando.
Oh, Fernando
Yeah, yeah,
Acevedo.
yeah, yeah. That was
Yeah,
actually the first things we bonded over. I was like, "Yeah, where you from?" I was like, "Chino Hills." Like, "Oh, what's cool?" I like and like, did you know Mr. Rodriguez? Like, yeah, like, yeah. So we're like, we became good buds after
he and
that.
I are still very
Great
close. I
guy.
mean, we
Great.
traveled to South America together. Like,
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah. So he is like, it's funny because like he studies Kabbalah now too,
Okay.
and my oldest son Ben. Remember
Ben. Oh
Ben?
wow. Yeah, yeah.
Ben's
I used to
21.
carry him
Yeah, yeah,
around.
yeah. So Ben's
I can't do that
21.
anymore. He's 21 now.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. That makes
And,
me feel
and
like a grandpa.
right, and Sam. Well, look at this. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Sam is 19, and then my
Wow.
daughter Isabella, she's 15. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
so they're all, those kids are big, but
You were prepared for teenagers when they came. That's good.
oh my gosh, and they're good, they're great kids. But
Yeah.
you guys helped me. But one of the
Yeah.
things is that everybody always says, and even Ben always says, "Oh, Fernando is really your first child," because he and I were so close. Like he's like, "Oh, he's really your first son," like.
Yeah, yeah. See, I feel like that's. I mean, I feel like that's proof of your consistent, just great presence of creating those friendships and creating those relationships with your students. They still they're so drawn to you. They still look at you as a friend, as a mentor. Like that hasn't ended. So I mean that's a kudos to you and the life you've lived because I it must be humbling at the same time, but for a lot of the kids that you taught and even myself, like I put you up there as somebody who was really influential in my life. Maybe not for like all the jokes. Although I want to give you a lot of credit for that because I'll be I
And I
do.
had jokes, I
No,
had
you had them. Oh man, yeah, yeah. I was like, I want to be quippy like Mr. Rodriguez. I want to be able to give people shit back. But I had such a pleasure being your student, and if I don't ever get a chance to again, if tomorrow never comes, thank you. So it's been quite a experience because I've been thinking that you get older and you think about your past and you think about the roads that brought us here, and like I said, the fact that you came to my father's funeral, like that just meant so much to me. I do get some social anxiety, so like I'm always weary about contacting people and catching up and stuff.
I remember how the anxiety you used to have in high school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I remember how it really was. You really had to work through that, and especially when you would sing, and you had. Did you have a solo for like a country piece or
I did,
something?
I did, I did, I did, I
Yeah,
did. Yeah,
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 and,
yeah.
and
Good memory.
yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but
I was amazed. I remember.
amazed. I was gonna say
Yeah, yeah,
amazing,
yeah.
and I'm
My
like,
first
that's
solo, my first solo I ever got in my life, and it was a, like I said, it was a catalyst to many things in the future. So, yeah, thanks for the opportunity. But
I
yeah,
can't believe I even remember because I don't remember things. I don't even remember if I ate breakfast, and sometimes I eat twice, obviously. But it is what it is. But the thing is that one of the things that I loved about the work that we did was giving kids the opportunity that they thought they would never have an opportunity
yeah,
to do. And like you, I remember you had that anxiety, as a kid. And even I remember working with you, and it's so funny because it's all like flooding back in,
yeah,
right? But I remember, like rehearsing with you on your solo and and just how it changed you. And I remember how I really do remember how that changed you. And just an opportunity like that can change so much for a
yeah,
kid and giving them the opportunity, but also believing in them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll tell you
So
after that, I because after choir, I got into musical theater in college and stuff, and I was just doing that for like a good 10 years of my life. I was like, I can audition, I could do it, like it kind of gave me that extra, like I got through your auditions, so it kind of gave me I knew how the auditions worked or how they would change, later on for acting and whatnot, but it did plant the seed, and yeah, I still have anxiety today, but I get over that shit anyways. I just perform. That's just it's like instinct now, So if I work a wedding or if I work at Disney, it's just like I click it on, click it off, and people talk to me like, "How do you speak so clearly up there, but you talk like shit down here?" It's like because I've been doing it for a long time. um, so let's like I said, let's cap it off. But I'd love to have you back on and do some more conversation. Like it's so great to talk to you, man. Like you have no idea. Part of me,
likewise,
you're still that teacher to me. So even though I'm a full grown adult, like you're like I said, you're my favorite teacher, like hands down. I will
thank
always
you.
credit you as somebody who was the one who kind of gave me those chances to become what I do now. But if I've never said it, or if other students ever said, I love you, man. Thank you so much. You've inspired so many kids, and you continue to inspire with your work. Doing not Kabbalah. It's called
My Reiki, well,
Reiki. Reiki. Yeah, yeah.
Kabbalistic Reiki.
Is
Yeah,
that
and if you want to come and lay on my table and let me work on you, or
yeah.
come over. You know what? Check out my
Yeah, why
YouTube,
don't you give me your YouTube and give you a shout out and I'll post it
my
on
web.
it.
I'll give you my website and the YouTube's right on there. So
Okay.
it's ReikiMasterGuru.com.
And do
REIKI.
you have an Instagram or Facebook you want to put on too, or
You know what? My Instagram. I just right now I don't have the Reiki Master Instagram, but or do I?
just start jumping on it. Instagram
But
is
you know
the
what? My other one is A_Ron_Rod.
okay.
A_Ron_Rod.
So hey, maybe next time maybe we'll do Zoom with some other former students and see, get your
I'd love
reaction.
that.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
love.
yeah, yeah. I want this to be an open format where we can have these type of reunions, type of discussions, and I've always appreciated you, and I know a lot of us do. So
Likewise.
yeah. So with that said, we're gonna cap this. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure and an honor. I will see you. We'll be in contact again. I'll post it and I will show you the video and stuff. Check out my great teacher Aaron where he is and his work. And I'll put the links down below and whatnot. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Be kind, be safe, be you. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. So.